All right, let's take a look at the top 10 tank gear items you can get out of BWL. So there's lots of juicy loot coming out of here. With the time of me releasing this, ZG probably just came out a couple days ago. So there are some changes as far as the best in slot and kind of what you want to prioritize your soft reserves for. So be sure to watch my ZG guide on what's the best items that you're going to get out of there, so you don't waste the soft reserve when you could have got something easily out of ZG, since you could do that twice a week comparing to BWL's once a week. And ZG only has 20 people instead of 30, so less people you're battling against. Yeah, it is what it is. But there's lots of juicy items coming out of BWL for tanks, and wanted to highlight some of them. Now, this is more geared towards newer players. Obviously, if you're a veteran, you have the list already memorized of the best items. This is not for you. My new players here, just getting into the raiding scene. Hopefully you've already done some MC, and now you're looking to do BWL and tackle some of the fun bosses that you're going to encounter in here. So let's dive right into this. And as always, please leave some comments below. Are any of these items you already got? Or did I forget to put an item? How dare I? Did I forget to put an item that you think would be amazing? So a lot of people read the comments. So sharing a detailed description of why you made a certain idea or selection different from what I did will only help others. So that's all this is about. I love helping everybody, and that's why I spend all this time trying to do what I can to get more people excited into the game. So looking at the different warrior setups. So depends on what you're looking to do. Obviously, you can go with, if you get Thunder Fury, amazing. Thunder Fury with rank 14. Thunder Fury with the rune of the blade, Black Flight. Yeah, these are the best of the best. Now, even some tanks will go with the different daggers as dual wielding as far as that goes. So this is roughly the best overall that you're going to get for phase 3 for different tank setups. So first up, the Helm of Endless Rage. This plate, it just has so much raw stats built in. It has everything you possibly want, and it is a 35% drop off Veil, so you will see this item dropping a lot. This is going to be very good for warrior DPS and protection and repellies. But realistically, tanks should be the prio on this, and then the warrior DPS. Next up, the Drake Talon shoulders, 1% dodge, tons of raw stats on there. Once again, this is amazing shoulders for tanks. Yes, other classes want this, but I highly recommend prioritizing your warrior tanks for this one. It does thankfully drop off 3 different bosses at a 10 to 13% drop chance, so you will see this dropping throughout your raids. I forgot to mention this headpiece. I would be using a soft reserve on because it is that good. So this one would be a high priority as far as a soft reserve. Now, as far as the shoulders, they're good, but I don't know if I'd be using my soft reserve on that. Now, these legs overall, look at the raw stats, the agility, the strength. It gives you so much off firemaw at a 16% drop chance. I wouldn't, it's alternative for the warrior for DPS and protection. So I wouldn't use a soft reserve on here, but it wouldn't be bad to pick this up as a +1 if you didn't already have a decent leg piece. But I just wanted to mention it is a very good piece coming out of BWL. Next up, the Cloak of the firemaw. This is best in slot, not only for the warrior protection, but a lot of other classes. So you will have high competition on this. The stats, it has everything you want as far as that goes, damage, health. This is coming off firemaw at a 29% drop chance. So I would use my soft reserve on this item to be able to get your hands on it. It is a very good back piece. Next up, the Master Dragonslayer ring. This is what you get for turning in the Nefarian's head, like quest piece. And a lot of guilds are going to prioritize giving this to warrior protections before then giving it to letting the warrior DPS and rogue DPS battle it out before all the other classes. So melee DPS really gets the most bang for the buck out of it with the attack power and the 1% crit. This is huge. This is something I would be using my soft reserve on for sure. Next up, the Circle of Applied Force. This ring is also a great ring. The overall raw stats off it, coming off Flame Gore at a 39% drop chance. That's why it's best in slot for a lot of different classes. Now, I don't know if I would necessarily be using my soft reserve on this one. It does have a high drop chance, so you're going to see this drop a lot. So I probably wouldn't use my soft reserve on it, but I would definitely be using my +1 on this if I was able to get, you know, the greed over need. I would definitely need this one for sure. I just wouldn't waste the soft reserve. There's some other items that rank a little higher in my opinion. This is the one that I would be using 100% my soft reserve on. This is the reason why a lot of people will continue to go to BWL even after we're going into AQ Phase 5. The Dragonfang talisman is the most sought after, one of the most sought after items in the game. This trinket, tons of attack power, 2% hit with some dodge. What more do you want for your warrior tank? So overall, a lot of guilds will prioritize the tanks getting this first, and I agree. Giving them the extra hit, giving them an attack power is only going to benefit the raid. This is off Ebon Rock at a 33% drop chance, so this is something you're going to be gunning at for now and into the future. You will be coming back to BWL specifically to get this item. Next up, the Dragonfang Blade. So this is all, you know, it's best if you're dual wielding, the agility, the health, the raw damage. This is a great dagger for warrior tanks that are dual wielding, especially if you never got the dagger out of MC. So this is something, if you didn't get the dagger out of MC, then yes, I would put this high on my priority list to be able to get my hands on. This is off Vel at basically a 21% drop chance. There are some other alternatives out there. So if you haven't got this, then yes. Next up, the sword. The rune blade of the Black Flight. This is amazing. Overall, it's alternative best depending on where you're going. What I see is a lot of times this would be like if you're going to go shield, you could go with this to get the extra +4 to swords to get you that extra hit. It's only a 16% drop chance off Broodlord. So a lot, once again, this is an item that a lot of classes are going to be going back and forth for. The rogues are going to go crazy for this item. Warriors, yes, it's definitely not bad. Like I said, the +4 is great overall. But this one's going to be a tough one to get your hands on. I think you could go some other directions before going this one overall as far as soft reserve, especially since it's a low drop chance. Last but not least, the Bulwark Shield. This shield, increasing your block value and giving +7 to defense, is why it is best in slot for the warrior protection. Now, there are some other great shields out there, so if you got some of the other high-end shields, maybe this isn't ranked as high up on your list, but if you don't have a good shield, obviously 90% of the time you're going to be dual wielding, but when you do throw a shield on, it's nice to have a nice beefy shield. The armor, the block, the health you get out of this one is great. It is only a 15% drop chance off Cro-Magnus. I don't know if I would necessarily use a soft reserve on this for the fact that if it does drop, you're usually only battling against the off tank or the other 1 or 2 people to be able to get your hands on it. So not a ton of competition, especially because there are some other great shields out there. This one is very nice. I'd be using my soft reserve on like the trinket, the headpiece, some of the other pieces before maybe going for this one. But hopefully this guide was helpful. Love to hear all of your feedback below. Like I said, what items do you already have, or maybe what items I missed? Love to hear. Drop a comment below. And until next time, guys, game on.